Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? I am JD Tierney, the founder of Southpaw's Tales of the Barstool and owner of Southpaw Laser Concepts. As always, I have my beautiful and hot wife sitting to my right, your left. I don't know if it's your left, but she's over here. What do you have to say, Miss Lady?
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm JD's wife, and y'all may be here for the ghost stories, but I'm here for the booze.
Jesus. The horrible dad jokes have already started.
I could have said that JD's here for the boobs, but
everybody knows that I'm there for the boobs.
I even wore an appropriate shirt today just so you could stay away from those boobs. He keeps touching my ass, though, people. He's got to think about my ass.
Hey, I paid for that ass, and she signed it away when that marriage certificate and the fine print says I can touch that ass anytime I want.
I have the same thing, but with that dick.
That dick. So, for those of you that are watching for the first time, this is Southpaw's Tales from the Barstool. It is a well-choreographed train wreck and shit show. What we love to do is that we love to talk to people off the clock. We don't want to talk about their business. We don't want to talk about the latest course that they've created, whatever 501c3 that they're running. No, off the clock, behind the scenes, off the influence.
We don't care how many millions you made. Get the fuck over it. Yeah. What else is new?
Share a drink with us. That's what we want. And so tonight, just give you a little teaser, is the haunted hour. It may or may not be an hour, depending on how y'all's interaction is. Tonight is all about hearing y'all's stories. Your story specifically, we want to bring you on. But it's going to be whatever you have experienced as far as the paranormal. It doesn't have to just be ghosts. Yes. I mean, if you saw some crazy shit at Skinwalker Ranch when you visited, tell us about that.
Exactly.
If you were visited by aliens and they probed your butthole, I want to hear all.
JD has a little knot behind his ear, and he keeps telling me he was abducted by aliens as a kid, and they left a sensor in there. Pretty sure it's a BB or a lymph node or something stupid. But either way, he's been telling that story to our kids, and they're scared to shit to go outside at night.
They couldn't probe my butt because my asshole's too tight, so they just put it behind my ear.
No,
they're like, fuck it, I give up on this dude.
I've been in that asshole. It's not that tight.
She has. It was a bad day, and
it slips. It slips.
I still felt dirty after I showered.
It slips.
So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and bring on tonight's special drink.
No, not sponsors.
You gotta make our drink before we can do the sponsors.
That's right. That's right. Oh, and I want to bring up the fact that, as you haven't brought it up, this is step 1. This is part 1. Part 2 is coming in Halloween. So the week of Halloween, we'll do a part 2 of the haunted hour. This is kind of a buildup. This is about the time of year we bring all our Halloween decorations down and start working on them. Yes, it takes 3 months to get our Halloween decorations fixed and operational and everything. We have animatronics. It's a big deal. So we bring them down about this time, stage them in our garage, start working on them. So we wanted to share some stories with y'all, hear y'all's stories, but we're keeping our good stories for the week of Halloween.
Make me a drink, woman.
Go fuck. Oh, I'll put something in your mouth. That's what I'll do. All right, people. So what we're working on tonight is called... My mom's probably watching.
Your mom's a saint. If she's watching, I love your mom. She's a saint.
So what we're making tonight is called A Nightmare on Bourbon Street. So we had to modify it a little bit. And the only thing we did differently is it also comes with hard apple cider. Well, we're not doing hard apple cider because we don't have it. And I forgot to get it. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm ghetto. Don't care. So instead of doing that, we just amped up how much of the hot apple cider we're doing. So it starts with dusting the rim with cinnamon and sugar, which I've already done, and then making your hot apple cider, which is already in these cups.
While she's getting those up, just a reminder, as soon as we get to 1,000 followers on the Facebook page, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We are less than 30 people from doing the giveaway.
Less than 30.
Go ahead and get those next ingredients up.
Awesome. So next is, and I have stickiness all over my hands, and I'm praying it's from the drink. Ha-ha! Next is lemon juice. 1 ounce of lemon juice in each. Ba-bing. Ba-bow. Next is maple syrup. So I got us the maple syrup here.
Some scissor.
So this is it's real maple syrup, so it's a lot thicker. So, there you go.
It's the tasty Canadian stuff. It has a maple leaf on the label, so we know it's legit.
It's like from a tree or something. Okay, next is ground ginger. Pink.
Bink, she says.
I keep saying bink, don't I? I'm gonna make all crazy ass noises. So how much is it?
Did you say crazy ass noises?
Crazy ass noises.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Crazy ass noises here. Bink. All right, next is
Where's the most important part?
cinnamon.
Cinnamon's not the most important part.
Shut the fuck up. Next is cinnamon. I love you. Don't fuck with me.
You pay me for this pretty mouth. That did not. That sounded way better in my head.
I was like, what? What was that, my love?
That's horrible.
That was. Look, I don't get.
Can y'all just forget that last 15 seconds happened?
No.
Oh, I'm never gonna live that one down.
That's that. Speaking of hauntings, it's gonna haunt my dreams. Okay, 1.5 ounces of bourbon,
and we're using a regional bourbon. It's called Texas Barrel Proof. I was drinking this stuff on St. Patty's Day. I had like 3 whiskey sours and started feeling really good. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized that it was almost 60% ABV.
No wonder. Okay, so we pre-gamed.
Wait, did you give yourself extra?
I didn't fill mine all the way up like I did yours. So I gave myself a little love. Hey, you better give me some extra love. Look, hey, more. Mother. Hey, I'm going to fuck that mouth if you don't stop that shit.
Oh my God. So as you can see, things have already gone off the rails today. This is awesome. While she's stirring that up, just a quick reminder, we are going to be doing the giveaway as soon as we reach 1,000 members. We're less than 30. One of the things we're giving away is this cool handmade soap by Marine veteran Joe Palacios. He owns Maxwell Soaps. His tagline is "Don't be nasty." This one is orange sage. Really good stuff. I use this shit. It's your skin.
It's good.
You know how like when you come back from the dentist and you can like feel
the clean.
Your tongue like squeaks across your teeth.
Yes. It's
you
a
use
squeaky
this soap,
clean.
you get squeaky clean with it. And there's no of that funky chemical bullshit. It's all badass.
And it's subtle. It's not like an overwhelming scent, which I really appreciate. Like JD has this what do you call it? That beard oil you use. It's a sandalwood. Sandalwood is the same. At least what he has in sandalwood is the same. Where it's masculine, but it's subtle and it's not like pow, I'm a fucking man. It's like hey, I'm gonna like sweep you off your britches later.
It's like
very subtle.
It's like bathing in Barry Manilow instead of bathing in Kid Rock. so let's try this shit out. Tink. Oh, that is tasty.
It is so good.
That is a legit like
autumn
drink.
Yes, I agree.
Another thing we're gonna be giving away is some branded whiskey stones here in this beautiful bamboo case.
And we're also gonna be giving 5 hats away.
Yep. So there's all kinds of free shit, and all you gotta do
Southpaw for y'all. We're gonna sign the bills on the inside. I might even write you a little crazy ass letter, like if you can't handle the sass, you can't handle this ass. Boom.
I can barely handle the sass. The ass I got on lock though. With that, we're gonna go and start moving forward here. Let's go ahead and.
Does he though?
Yeah.
Does he though?
We need to move forward here. Let's move to our sponsors. We are sponsored by, of course, Southpaw Laser Concepts, a company that I own, specializing in custom laser engraved leather patch products for you, your business, or event. We specialize in the leather patched hats, beanies, keychains, koozies, wine totes, and anything else I can slap leather on because I love burning shit with lasers.
That I do. That is the one thing that I do for JD that he actually kind of pays me sometimes for. Not really, like not in cash, but I get perks.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Okay,
I give her
like
fridge
that.
benefits. Like I refill the beer fridge. And,
fridge benefits?
Yeah, fridge benefits.
Fridge benefits.
You can find us at getsouthpaw.com.
Look, I'll take a little more of these benefits than that benefit.
Okay, we got to move forward here. We're like 10 minutes into this.
My bad.
So, all right, you can find us at facebook.com/Facebook. Oh my God, you got me all fucked up. Facebook.com/Southpaw Laser Concepts. You can email us at info@getsouthpaw.com, or you can go to getsouthpaw.com. You can call us at 361-994-4243. Our next sponsor is Nick Carpenter, who is the founder of Legion of Loan Officers. He also has a book out called The Loan Officer Strategy Guide. You can get a free copy of that at loanofficerstrategyguide.com. You just pay a small shipping and handling fee. I personally use this, even though I'm not in the real estate industry, just because the sales techniques and the techniques of getting leads, and not just leads, but leads that pay, is phenomenal, and you can transpose it to any industry that you're in. You can also find them at facebook.com/Legion of Loan Officers. They have a great community of people there that are always willing to help out, drop some huge knowledge bombs, and just great all around people.
And when we have part 2, we're going to try to get Nick Carpenter on here. He's got some great paranormal stories. So
we have a new sponsor tonight. This is OMOG Construction, owned and operated by Marine veterans Seth Knox and Matt Anders. They are a general contracting company in the greater Houston area. They focus on concrete. It could be residential, industrial, commercial. No job is too big or too small for these guys. You can find them at omogco.com or facebook.com omogco.
Thank you for your patronage.
And Instagram at omogco. And funny story, this is going to be really, really funny for the people that live in Texas
Real funny.
or know any kind of slang Spanish whatsoever. But OMG means one Mexican, one güero. And güero is
white people.
White dude. In Spanish, güero is white dude. So their name is literally
one Mexican,
one abbreviation for one Mexican, one white dude. It's beautiful.
It's funny.
So
it's hilarious.
Welcome to the family. That's enough of sponsors. Let's move forward because it is time. So here's our haunted hour tonight.
Turn off the OMG one.
I'm working on that. Before we get going, if you are live in the comments, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give them permission to see your name. We already have one person in the green room that we're going to be bringing online shortly to tell his ghost story. But tonight is all about your ghost stories. We want you guys to call us or us call you. We do have the ability to. She dusted my rim.
I dusted his rim, David. I dusted it. It's sweet. It's squeaky clean. You heard him.
But yeah, we want to hear your ghost stories. We want you to call in. We want you to come on the live stream. If you're interested, we can send you that invite information to where you can be on the live stream real quick. You can message me in Facebook, your phone number. We can call you. We already have a couple of other guests lined up, but we don't want to monopolize the time here. We want it to be about you guys. We're going to kind of prime the pump a little bit with some of the experiences we had.
And then we're going to bring on our first green room guest, Mr. Poe, who's sitting there. And you poor man, you've had to listen to this whole thing. And I've seen your smiles and I've seen you laughing. You had
no clue what you signed up for.
It's going to be good. So JD and I personally are skeptics, but we believe. It's not like we don't believe in the paranormal. Skeptical
believer is the term I like to use.
Yeah, we don't believe that.
When I tell my ghost story, I believe it 100%. When I hear yours, I think you're full of shit.
I'm not like that. I'm just saying that there's some stuff that can be explained, and you should really be thinking about that when you do have a paranormal experience, is trying to, I hate to say debunk because I know they use that a lot, but find a logical reason for it first. And then if there isn't a logical reason, then it is paranormal. That's the definition of paranormal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like one thing that gets me is
God, I'm all sticky. I got syrup all over
pre-show,
my
little pre-show party we had.
You're gonna be licking maple syrup off of.
Oh my God! Will you get on?
I'm sorry.
Jesus, it's like wrangling fucking cats here.
Literally.
Cat. Jesus Christ. So one of the things I really have a hard time believing in orbs. Like everybody, like I caught orbs. No, you caught fucking dust. It was some kind of a reflection. I'd say 1 out of every 1,000 orb pictures has the potential to be something paranormal. Outside of that, it's just going to be something that's very easily explained. I don't give a shit if you have a show with 50 million followers or you just happen to snap something on your phone. If it's an orb, it's fucking dust. Get over your shit.
We actually saw an orb caught on video and camera that went through like onto the other side of a door frame. Okay, look, that's not dust. When you're seeing it partially occluded by a door frame, that's bigger than a piece of dust, people.
As I said, one in every 1,000 has the potential to be something real.
We have personally had experiences. You had some as a kid, didn't you?
No. As a kid, like I might have. That might have been some of the memory that I lost in the wreck. But as a kid, I think the only thing that really scared me was the theme song to
your
Unsolved
friend's
Mysteries.
House at the end of the street was haunted.
Oh,
yeah. See, that's why I
completely forgot about that. Yeah, growing up, it was, man, I was only like 11 years old, and when you're that age, you have a kid move in the neighborhood, and you meet, and you're in the same grade. So because they're new, you're new to them, you're instantly best friends. Like,
of course,
boxes aren't even unpacked and you're fucking crashing, spending the night over there, And we stayed the night. And this house was always rumored to be haunted.
Still
just
is.
because it was the only 2-story house in the entire 4 or 5 blocks in any direction. So of course that one had to be the scary one. And
Amityville-ish.
Yeah, and
got it.
So I stayed the night there, and I didn't know anything about a lot of the movies and what people are supposed to feel and all the stuff that's very common knowledge now because of all the television shows and podcasts and everything about paranormal activities. I didn't know any of this. So we were sitting there, we were playing Nintendo, and I'll never forget it. We were playing Excite Bike. Like, this is old school Nintendo.
Because, you know what the fuck that is? You're old.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, sorry.
And it was weird because we're playing and I kept feeling like somebody was watching me. And if I turned my head, the feeling was always behind me. No matter which direction I turned, it was always behind me. It was omnidirectional. It was omnipresent.
Omnipotent.
And it freaked me out so badly that at 11 years old, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. And when you're 11 is fucking late. I said 11 a lot. 11. When you I actually ended up leaving the sleepover and going home and just crying myself to sleep because I was fucking freaked out. And I didn't go to that house again for in kid time. It was 20 years, but in real life it was 2 or 3 weeks. What was one of your early experiences with the paranormal?
So my parents, we bought a ranch when I was probably in going into first grade, around that time frame. We moved into our lake house while we got the property set up and everything and ready. Moved into a tiny 2-bedroom house. And when you've got 4 kids, that's 6 people living in a 2-bedroom ranch house. It's tiny. So one year for Christmas, my dad gave my mom blueprints for a house. He built her a house on the other side of the property. About the time they were building the house, they tear down this half burnt through 1800s house that had been on the property since for 100 years ago, at least. Long fucking time. And they tore it down to put up a rig. So we were drilling for oil on our property. And about that time, we started having some interesting things happen at the ranch house. And then when we moved into the new house, that's when it really started happening. And I would say I thought it was just me. It was certain times, very specific times during the day, you would see a man in a white shirt walking past the front windows. But then when they'd get to the door, I thought my dad was home every time. When he'd get to the door never opened because he wasn't there. It wasn't him. At night, you would hear someone walking up and down our stairs. You'd hear him talking. I locked my door at night. I would sleep with a fan, anything to drown out the sound because I wasn't sleeping well. Well, I had posters moved in my room and, things like that. I could hear him talking. I could hear him calling my name. It was a man, same man, I'm assuming, that was walking past our front doors. One night I even called JD freaking out because I could hear it. I ran into my parents' room because there was a lot happening and I had all the doors locked in the house. And I was a teenager at the time. I was 18 years old dating JD because he's a pedophile. And
you were legal. God dang it.
So I called him because I was freaking out because I was like, if I'm downstairs, I'm hearing shit upstairs. If I'm upstairs, I'm hearing shit downstairs. And I was freaking out. So I closed myself in my parents' room because my dad has guns there. And I'm like, I don't know how to shoot a gun, but I'm going to figure it out real fast. So I call him. I can hear it dragging something across the tile flooring through our downstairs. And I'm trying to look underneath the door and I don't see shit. So every experience I had, I would tell my parents about it. My mom's kind of a believer. My dad's absolutely not. Now I think he's kind of getting there because he's had experiences now, but he didn't up until this time. And every time I would tell my parents, my dad would say the same thing. It's between your ears. It's the same fucking thing he would say about every dude I dated when he thought he was stupid. And oh, it must be all between his ears, huh? I'm like, ha, 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 it's real funny. I'm kind of seeing him.
Hey, joke's on you, Dan. I've been between her legs.
Oh, wow. And my parents watched this
show. And mate.
He's got me pregnant 5 times. You knew this, right? He's not saying anything you didn't know. So yeah. So I would say that was most of the experiences was after they tore down that house, I would have experiences growing up with the same ghosts. With, like I said, at first you could just hear him whispering and it was nonsense, but eventually it became where he learned our names. So years later, I was talking to my sisters about it, and sure as shit, were they having the same fucking experiences, and kept going to my parents. My parents told them the same fucking thing. So now as adults, we can talk about it. And as adults, we can relate with each other. And we all grew up with this ghost in our house. And it wasn't malicious. It didn't do anything bad. It just scared the fuck out of us because we're kids, you know? But it's nice as adults to be able to bond with my sisters because of these exact same experiences. Like to the T, the guy in the white shirt. Exactly. JD even saw him when he stayed over. Oh, yeah. By the way, mom and dad, when we were dating and you were out of town, he stayed over. You can't do anything. What do you do? Ground me now?
I never did that, Dan.
We didn't have sex in your
respected your-
bedroom. That's all you need to know. We didn't have sex in the bedroom.
No.
No, we never had
No.
sex in your bedroom.
There are certain things, regardless how bad a boy you are, there's just certain things that are just off limits.
They did have a king size bed though. We probably should have gone to town on that. But it's fine.
But just to do a quick reset, man, we not only want you to hear our stories, but if you want to come on the air and tell us your stories,
Your sister, we're gonna call her.
by
I know
all
your
means,
sister's
put it in the
experience.
comments and we will shoot you a message to get your phone number and we'll give you a call. Without further ado, I want to bring our first guest on, Mr. Chris Poe. He's going to tell us some stories about where he grew up and switch the format. There you go. That guy.
Damn it,
But yeah, we're going to bring
unmute
Poe on.
him.
And I just heard his part of his story earlier today. So you're going to hear a lot of
I have to add you. Hello.
What's going on?
Poe.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You guys are so awesome for having me here. I don't know how you, first of all, you gave away your age there, JD. Did you say you were afraid of Tales of the Crypt or something like that?
No,
What
it was-
the
I
show
love
you were
Tales of the
talking
Crypt.
about?
No, Tales of the Crypt was great. Unsolved Mysteries, to this day, their theme song makes me piss myself and hide under my
Oh
blanket.
my God, man.
JD still has a thing about
I'm-
sleeping next to the
I'm
window
surprised.
because of it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, guys. So look, I don't have much hair left, but I go back to The Exorcist. Like I remember The Exorcist, like kind of when it came out. And that show freaked me the hell out. I mean, The Exorcist was the absolute scariest show I've ever seen in my life. To this day, I still don't watch it. I'm almost 50.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that one doesn't bother me, but Unsolved Mysteries, that scares the shit out of me.
Are you talking about a show or the movie, The Exorcist?
The movie.
Oh God.
The movie,
Look,
The Exorcist, she throws
it
up
took me-
the pea soup.
Yes. It took me 3 times
Yeah.
before I got through that movie. 3 fucking times. I'm not scared of most movies, but I don't fuck with that devil shit. Like, I'm sorry. No, I'm too
man.
white for that.
You know, I can actually pinpoint the time in my life where I used to be scared of everything. Like I was a fucking bitch.
Shark in the pool scared?
Yeah, shark in the pool scared. Yeah.
Whoa.
And but it was
Yeah.
during my first deployment. Like I was that old before I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm really not scared of anything except for dolls. Fuck dolls.
He's scared of dolls.
Oh yeah, porcelain dolls freak me the fuck out. So go ahead.
for
and,
my daughter. Yeah, I'll give it to you. My daughter's the same way with the porcelain dolls. But, you know, there was a time in my life when I was scared of everything, too. I was afraid of heights when I was a kid, right? So I would go to the top of the John Hancock in Boston, which is where I'm from, and we'd go on like a school field trip. I was in 3rd grade. Some kid would come over and go, hey, Chris, come over, look out the window. I would fall flat on the floor, like, don't touch me, right? So I had that sort of phobia. Until I went to basic training and the drill instructor told me, get off my tower, you know, on the rope. I was gone. Never had a fear of heights after that. But look, let me tell you about something. I know we were talking earlier. I was going to tell you about Crybaby Bridge. You know, a lot of people have this sort of story where you can hear babies crying underneath of a bridge. So I was actually born in rural Ohio, about I'd say about an hour northwest of Columbus. And I'm going to take these off so they don't glare. So, you know, they got Amish country and they got bridges out there. So a lot of people probably heard about babies crying under a bridge. And I said, oh, well, that's not bad. It happened to me when we were a kid. Me and my cousins, we were out with my aunt. We went over to Crybaby Bridge. Me and my cousin were trying to scare all the other kids. We go down under the bridge. What do we hear? Baby crying. I shit you not.
Oh.
I shit you not. I shit you not. And it was in the shadow underneath. Now, was it somebody there?
No.
Were they playing? Yeah, but
Was somebody fucking
no,
with you,
it
or
was
was
like-
it legit?
I don't think so. We're out in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's no other vehicles for miles.
Yeah.
And so the story was that, you know, that there was like an Amish family. You can look it up. It's in the newspapers and stuff where I guess it was a teenage girl. She fell in love with a regular, modern high school kid. She got pregnant.
Western society. Yeah.
Totally. Actually, they had to get rid of the baby. So yes, we heard a baby cry under the bridge. There's a cemetery in Ohio. I looked it up before I called you. It's called the Sloan Yelberton Cemetery. Now, as you travel down this old country road in Ohio, there's a county road, but there's a bend. It sort of winds off. And the cemetery crosses both sides. There's a statue of an angel right in the middle, the biggest statue in the middle. At night, doesn't matter as long as the sun is down. If you travel straight ahead, that statue is staring at you as you're coming down the road. But when you make that 90-degree right-hand turn to go down that road, you can watch that statue turn.
Shit.
It literally turns. And if you look in the fucking rear view mirror, the statue is looking at you
like
90 degrees
45 degrees or like how far?
Like 90, like a full freaking 90.
So it's like the actual statue is turning. It's not like one of those optical illusion of the eyes follow you. It's like a legit.
Like the head turns.
It couldn't be. The whole thing turns, and I remember looking in the rear because I was like, "This is bullshit. This is bullshit. There's no freaking way." I looked in the rear view mirror, and the fucking thing is staring at you 90 degrees a different direction. No bullshit.
I have goosebumps. That's freaking weird. 90 degrees. That's that's not like it's angled and then you're going to see it. I mean, if it was like 45 degrees, like, all right, she might just be angled.
It's awesome that like every area or region has its own place that I'm not going to say is the same, but has that lore and that luster. Like for the Crying Bridge in Texas, we have the La Reona, which is the crying lady.
Yes.
And similar story, poor lady couldn't feed her kids, ended up killing her kids in the river.
Drowning them in the river because she couldn't afford to feed them. Didn't want them to starve to death. Yeah.
Walked up and down the river to the day she died, crying in mourning, looking for them.
Okay, look, Three Rivers.
But there's different versions of the story depending on what region you go to.
So Three Rivers, Texas. I'm calling y'all out, people. I'm sure there's someone out there from Three Rivers. Have a troll man who lives underneath the bridge there, which is whatever. They believe it though. And they swear they've all seen it, that there's this troll man who lives underneath the bridge. Okay, that La Rona, maybe, because I've had friends personally tell me that they've heard this lady crying and seen her and whatever, but come on, a troll man.
What's the in San Antonio, which is where I stationed.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What's up, Poe?
What's up, Poe?
No. Well, I was going to say, are you Army?
Who?
Me?
Him?
No, I was Chair Force.
JD. Yeah. Were you? Okay, you were Air Force.
I was Chair Force. Yeah.
In the Army, Kat was just talking about the trolls.
Yes.
In the Army, if you got any people from the Army watching that were ever stationed in Hawaii with the 25th ID, I've always wanted to go there, and I don't believe it, but they all freaking swear by it. Out there, when they went to training in the backcountry, they're called Menahunis. I'll say it again.
I'm assuming it's got like a Hawaiian like lore type thing.
It's a Hawaiian sort of magic midget that the soldiers literally say, look, you'll be out there, you'll be pulling guard duty. You'll have like some gear and you'll see somebody running by. And then if you've got gear nearby, like your poncho liner, your canteen, stuff like that, periodically it just goes missing. These Menahunis are out there running around stealing soldiers' stuff with the 25th ID out in
it's like a Hawaiian version of like pygmies or something.
Yeah, it's a fictional character that people believe exists. Kind of like, the pygmies, the leprechauns, an honest politician.
JD honestly believes in sock trolls.
Oh yeah, sock trolls exist. They steal your left socks all the fucking time.
They're like Oompa Loompas out there stealing stuff and scaring soldiers in the middle of the night.
Wait a minute.
It's crazy.
Wait a minute. On behalf of all the Oompa Loompas, all right, we don't steal shit, okay?
We're gonna sing a song about this.
About your demise, But we don't still shit.
Loompa, doopity. The last thing I'll say, JD, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
The last story I'll tell you. So my father joined the Navy in 1969. All my family were Navy men. My grandfather served in World War II. He was stationed in Charlestown, just outside of Boston, Charlestown, Massachusetts. That's where he met my mother at an Armed Forces YMCA at a dance. When I was about 12, we were having, I don't know, we went to visit my grandparents. We're all talking about memories. What's your earliest memory? And I said, Dad, you know, I can remember you had a big green car that me and Mom used to come pick you up in. And I remember being so small that I couldn't see over the dash. But what I do remember seeing is the guard shack with some sort of soldier and like aluminum blinds. And my mother would park there. She would get out, go talk to that soldier or whatever he was. Turns out he's a Marine. And ask, you know, when you were coming off of duty. And then she'd come back to the car and we'd wait for you. Now, that was real interesting and real cute for me to remember, being small enough to not see over the dash, until my parents told me, it's like, how do you remember that? I said, what do you mean? They said, Dad got out of the Navy in 1971. You weren't born until 72.
Oh,
What?
shit.
I had a memory.
What?
I have a memory of going with my mother to pick up my father when he was in the Navy in Charlestown, but I wasn't born for a year later. And that memory was in my head when I was 12.
Holy
That is
shit.
fucking nuts.
That's
What
crazy.
That is one of the
No
coolest
idea.
stories.
That
Because
was-
that's not ghost. That's just like,
No, that's just paranormal, though, which is exactly what this is supposed to be
That's
about.
weird, that's
That is
weird
that's
shit.
good-
It's weird
good
shit.
for
That's
you.
fucking-
Holy shit. You just,
Yeah.
wow.
damn, that's freaking
So,
nuts.
For everybody that's watching, if you want to come on and tell your ghost stories just like Poe and we are, make a comment. We're going to be calling Kathy here shortly. I want to talk about the haunted railroad tracks in San Antonio, which when you brought up the statue, you know, every area has kind of its own little
They do.
haunted spot. San Antonio has railroad tracks, and the story is that a busload of kids got hit by the train, killed all of them. And if you go and you put your vehicle in neutral, you park them right on the tracks. The tracks are between your front and your rear tires. You put baby powder on the trunk. Your car will roll over the tracks, and there'll be fingerprints all over.
It's
The ghost kids pushing you off so you don't have the same demise.
all the streets there are named after kids that were supposedly killed during this accident.
Now, a lot of studies have found this to be bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
it
an
has to
optical.
be bumped.
It's an optical illusion.
Yeah, it's
You're
been
actually
bumped.
going downhill. The way the surrounding is makes it look like you're going uphill.
Yeah.
It's just the slightest of inclines. However, when I was stationed there, we would go there and we'd fuck with people, and then there was an abandoned asylum about a mile from there. And this building, I'm going to paint you a picture. It's in the middle of cornfields or wheat fields, whatever the season was, is what they grew there. It was all farmland around it, and it was a 3-story cube with only windows on the first story, brick, just a giant fucking cube. Already ominous, creepy, especially when you're out there half lit on 99-cent 40s. And
we talked about this asylum in the past because we almost got arrested going there.
I was getting there. But we'd gone there a few times, and most of the times we're there, I think we spooked ourselves more than anything that was physically or metaphysically there. But it was eerie. You go inside, all the
Metaphysically, that was
hot. That's the 15-cent word for the day.
Oh, it works.
But you go inside, all the office furniture, the chairs, the filing cabinets, desks, everything's still there, covered in cobwebs, just like you would see in every quintessential horror flick
ever.
And we were there, and the air was thick. But again, there's no circulation in here, so it's, in hindsight, it's very easy to understand why it just seemed thick.
Yeah.
Plus your nerves, the anxiety.
Absolutely.
First story, creepy. We get to the second story. It just, now there's no ambient lighting at all. So it's only the lights that we have. You're hearing sounds from every direction. It could be a rat. It could be Satan himself. You don't fucking know. So we're freaking each other out. We're freaking ourselves out. We go up to the third
Satan
story.
has nothing better to do than scare a bunch of dickheads when
It was an off day.
Huh.
So, but I was the first one up the stairs going to the third story. We're walking up the stairs, and I crest and I get like 1 foot off the stair, and this office chair, rolling chair, just goes. And I didn't stick around to see if it was a bum or a demon, because that's all that everybody else saw of me was my asshole and my elbows as I sprinted. I crowd surfed over them to get down the stairs. And I was outside smoking before they could even come out and figure out what was going on. And then to top it all off, since I'd already shit myself, the farmer next door found out that we were there and came out blasting his 12 gauge. So now I'm pissing myself in on my already shit stained pants. So it was a great evening.
Oh, please tell me more. I had children with you.
Oh, you know that shit. You know this. Let's get your motor going. But so when Kat and I were dating,
wait, which one? Oh yeah. So when we were dating,
I took her there.
He took me there.
Why not?
They put up a prison on the property. So there were signs posted, you will be arrested for trespassing, blah, blah, blah. He's like,
I didn't give a shit.
I was underage. She was, of course, of age. Like I said,
she was of legal age, just not legal age to drink.
He could bang me. He just couldn't give me alcohol, but he gave me alcohol. So we're on this back road. We're already 2 sheets to the wind, not 3 sheets yet. And he's like, I'm going to take you here. We're going to go to this haunted asylum. Awesome. There's like 3 other cars on this road, whatever. We got pulled over. A cop stopped everybody. Well, he looks at us and he's like, what are you doing here? And we're like, we're lost. We're not from here. And it was really JD because I was sitting there like chewing grass, sucking pennies, anything I could do to pass a breathalyzer test underage. And this guy's fucking smart as balls. He's like, we're lost. We got turned around. We saw the signs, but we're just trying to get in a place where we can turn around.
I'm trying to get to my friend's house. They gave me horrible directions. Yeah. This is back before there was like GPS on your cell phone.
The closest friend's like even generic address, or he made it up, whatever. It fucking worked. He looked at his ID and it said Beeville, Texas. He goes, get the fuck out of here. Everybody else he arrested.
Yeah, the other 5 cars were all going to jail that night. But somehow
JD got us out of it because he's fucking just very quick. And I was very impressed.
Right before we call Kathy, I want to bring up a couple of comments that were brought up. Mark Ramsey.
No. I want to call
says
Mark.
that
Stop. Take it off.
Menahunis.
Take it off. I want to call Mark about this. I want him to explain it.
Okay, well then fine. I'll take that shit down.
Thank you.
Mark, you're going to be on the call
Kathy.
after Kathy, if you don't mind, unless you put in the comments and say, don't fucking call me, then I won't call.
Move your
But we're going to go ahead and bring Kathy up here.
So, Paul, we're going to bring Kathy, that's JD's sister, out here to tell her story.
Leave him up. He can be part of the...
Right on. Yeah, I'm good.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, sister?
Hey, gorgeous.
Hello.
So you are live on South Paws Tales from the Barstool. How do you feel about that?
Well, since you're my brother, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of weird.
Are you like, wah? It's just my brother's show.
You're like, yeah, go fuck yourself, JD. I got better shit to do.
Tell me when you get 1 million viewers. Other than that,
So
15 viewers, cool.
So I want you to
9.
pick your favorite paranormal experience and tell us about that. And then afterwards, I want to talk to you and Kat about the house that we lived on in Inez, where you got to witness a lot of the stuff that Kat and I did.
Yes. But first, tell us yours.
Okay, so I work in a hospital, and Kat, you do too. And as a matter of fact, the hospital that Kat and I both worked at was extremely haunted.
It really was.
And so this is actually like more than one story just because it's in the same area. So the NICU where Kat and I worked at, it used to be a long time ago. It used to be
an ICU,
an old ICU for adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one night, Michelle, and I used to work night shift, and we all do our time as night shift, but I was really into all of the paranormal, and I had downloaded this EVP app on my phone, and I thought, oh, this is so badass. We're going to catch some stuff. Oh. And Michelle had this app where she could record on her phone. And I'm like, you know what? It's 2 a.m. Weird stuff happens. Now, Kat, correct me if I'm wrong, but Pod 8 is freaking haunted.
Stay the fuck
It
away from Pod 8.
Weird
What happened
stuff.
in Pod 8?
Okay, so one night it flashed die, die, die.
On the,
on
and then they changed the clock out, and the second one said die, die, die.
die,
We
die,
had
die.
four.
Wait. So y'all are talking about like the digital clocks where it's
Yes.
like
A digital clock.
They changed out the
We put new
batteries,
in it.
still
Yes.
flash, die, die, die. Changed
Die,
out the
die,
clock,
die.
same thing happened. It flashed,
Yeah, I
die,
know.
die, die. They wound up
was
having to
that
go to like a hand clock because they were sick of it flashing, die, 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 no matter what clock they put in there.
You think it was
It
a
was-
manufacturer with a sick, twisted sense of humor?
We had
No,
four
no,
babies
no.
die in there
4
in
babies
what,
died
like a
in that room.
6-week
And
time frame or
it was
something? It was
fairly
fast.
quickly,
It
yeah.
was fast.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So anyway, I'm in that room and we're like, something is in this room, blah, blah, blah. And I'm doing, and the EMF on my phone is like pinging off the chart, right? And I'm like, Michelle, ask it. What is it doing? And Michelle is my best friend. She's the nurse practitioner that's there. And she's like, finally, she goes, tell me who you are. We don't hear anything. The thing like peaks out and then it dies. And then I don't get anything in the whole room. And I'm like, oh, weird. Let's listen to it. Now, night shift has a predominance of Filipinas there,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And so we go up to the station, the nurse's station in the front, and we rewind what Michelle had recorded. And you hear Michelle go, tell me who you are. And we hear, I am Dr. Dejamoa.
He's
And we
dead.
all went, "Ooh!"
He died of a heart attack. Holy
He
shit.
died of a heart attack like 2 weeks before. Michelle still has the recording.
Oh, shit.
And the Filipinos are like, we're never going in that room.
That gave me chicken
Oh,
skin.
shit.
Oh.
That's scary. Oh, my God. I loved him, though.
That's fucking creepy.
Oh, I loved him, though. He was such an amazing doctor. Oh, that is so sad. Yeah,
Oh,
he
we
had a heart
loved him.
attack right there in the freaking unit.
No. He went running. He had just gotten off and decided he was going to take a little run and ran and got into his driveway and collapsed in his driveway.
Oh, really?
He had
Because I was
just
working
left
in
the
Austin.
hospital.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Regardless
you were-
when or where,
Yeah.
he was already long gone. When that,
Yeah, he
when that
had
was done.
passed because it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before that had happened. But
Holy
yeah,
crap.
so I know Kat could appreciate because we both know that damn hospital
So-
is very haunted.
We had the die thing happen. So we had a hurricane come through Corpus when I was
Right.
working in that NICU, and I was a part of the skeleton crew. So I was there for the
Mhm.
hurricane. We had to keep a
Mhm.
crew there in case someone dropped a baby.
Mhm. I
Re-
did the hurricane crew that one other time. Yep.
Exactly. In room 8.
Great.
We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
we had the clock flashing die, but they got sick of it and they were like, oh, we're leaving it because it's the hurricane. We have no babies in there. They've already cleared the babies out. We're there just in case.
Right.
I hear someone in that room whispering, and I went to the nurse's station. I was like, yeah, there's a someone in there whispering. Like I can't figure out, but I swear I hear it. And one of the nurses goes, oh, it's probably the mom. She said she was looking for the pumping room. I showed her where it is. Her baby's in room 8. And what's her name? Alita or whatever was like, no, all the babies are gone. The last one left an hour ago. She goes, no. There was a mom like not 10 minutes ago asked me where the pumping room is
Good.
because her baby's in room 8. She's like, there's no baby in room 8. And she's like,
So was there no
shit.
mom?
No moms. No
No mom,
moms.
no baby.
No moms, no babies had been in that unit for over an hour. And she was like, oh shit. And her face turned white. And it was like, oh shit. It was that instant realization the mom wasn't there. There was no mom.
Yeah, when I worked in California at the Children's Hospital in California, we had this one room. Okay, so I was working in the peds ICU, and this little kid woke up. We were weaning him so we could extubate, and he woke up. And you know how kids, when they're scared, their eyes get like real big. Now,
Yeah.
I take that with a grain of salt because I work in peds
I have a
ICU,
question.
and he's got a tube down his throat.
What does excrobate mean?
Pull the tube out of their
When
lungs.
we pull the tube out
Got
of
it.
the lungs.
Thanks.
Right. So,
Yeah, y'all got to
So-
remember to dumb it down for us stupid people, us
okay.
laymen.
So, well,
Yeah.
the rest of it will be totally dumbed down.
Awesome, thank you.
So, I don't think anything of it, right? And then he's like, when we extubated it, when we pulled the tube out, he goes, "There's this little girl that keeps sitting on the edge of my bed. she was messing with the ventilator. And I was like, okay, well, we'll tell her to go away.
That was some really
you
good
just kind
drugs.
of blow it off. And the next night, I come back to work, and I'm the charge. I'm a house charge. And I have one of the RTs tell me, I need you to take oncology. I'm not doing it. I'm like, why? And he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, why? And he goes, well, because when I went up there, I saw this little kid, and he was running. And so I went into the room where he was running, and then he ducked behind the bed, and I went back there, and he's not there because there's nobody in there. I'm not going there. And I went, okay, fair enough. So I kind of just blow it off, right? Again, I'm like, oh, creepy, but I'm going to blow it off. Well, then the next night, I'm house charge again, and they're like, Kathy, I need you to call because the room in oncology, same room, this dad is sitting outside the door with his child and said, that room is haunted. I want another room. I was like, excuse me? He said, no, there's a little girl in there that is trying to play with my kid. I'm not going in there. Turns out 2 days before, the dad had asked of the son when we extubated him, and he told his dad, and the dad freaked out. So the dad had a priest come in and bless that area. The ghost just dropped down 1 floor because his ICU was on the 4th floor, and then oncology was on the 3rd floor. So it was the same room, but just 1 room down. So
he
they went
half-assed
ahead.
exercised it. It was kind of like
He just said, just don't come into this room.
he was like, yeah, you're getting some light cardio. I'm not gonna fully exercise you. We're not going full Peloton on you or P90X. You're just gonna.
It might be a matter of what you pay for. Maybe it was a half-off deal. So it's like, which exorcism do you want? Do you want the full price one or the half one?
Cheap ass Catholic priest, motherfucker. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that whole month, and I will never forget. It was October, and that whole month of October was really weird in the hospital for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So we had all of that happen, and then I was down in the rehab unit. I went to go suction a patient, right? And all of a sudden, you ever feel like somebody's looking, all the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you feel like a little slight burning sensation, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the charge nurse and I are in there, and he's facing me, and all I feel is like all the hair standing up on the back of my neck. He looks at me as I'm suctioning this kid who's trach, and I hear behind me, and I see out of the corner of my eye that the IV pole moved behind me up against the wall. Well, I thought maybe the parent was in the room, but his eyes got kind of big, and he's like, you done? And I was like, yeah, I'm done. And we walked out, and I said, was the mom back there? And he goes, no, I literally just watched that whole IV pole move behind you to the wall.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
not going in there the rest of the night. I'm like, I'm not either now.
It was like,
Thank
to the
you.
IV, to the wall,
Stop.
to the wall.
So Kathy, on that same hospital that you were talking about that we've both worked at, I've had a few other experiences.
Right.
4th floor used to be, when it first opened, was a peds unit before the children's hospital got finished and everything. And then after that, everything got moved over there. So one night I was working nights and I was on the 4th floor, and a nurse and I were just laughing, carrying on, drinking coffee in the hallway, whatever. And we see this kid running in and out of like if you go to the 4th floor, and it's that first hallway to the right, at the very end, the last room on the left. And we're like, there is some freaking kid going in and out of that room. It's past visiting hours, like 2:00 in the morning. Like, what the fuck are they doing? So we're finally like, she's like, I got to do something. Like, the charger's going to be pissed if I just let them run in and out. She's like, will you go with me? I don't want to be like the bad person. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll go with you. No one's in the fucking room. The room's empty. There's not a guest. There's not a visitor. So we're like, oh shit, like we just saw this kid for the past 30 minutes running in and out of this damn room. So we go to the nurse's station, freaked out. So, and of course it's a Filipino charge nurse, and she's like, okay, look,
I will never go there again.
Yes. She's like, okay, look, this is what happened. She goes, don't fuck with me. It's not funny. And she's like, I'm not joking around. She goes, she's like, I swear to God, you've got to be kidding me. This used to be a pediatric unit. Oh my God. And she's like freaking out. So we're like, holy shit. So like it wasn't during the hurricane. Maybe it was. No, it was after the hurricane. So again, I was working nights, using the bathroom off the lobby, first floor. Nurses, we find alternate
that
bathrooms.
Place is creepy.
No shit.
I'm going to tell you.
No shit.
It's
So
creepy. You go
I was
in
in
feel
there.
like somebody is there.
I was in there, and I even called JD afterwards.
She's pooping.
I was in there. Okay, that's the place we shit at night. Shut up.
She's
So
pooping.
I hear someone praying in the stall next to me. So I look down. There's no feet. I'm like, all right. So then I'm like doing my business, and I'm like, whoop, I hear someone praying again. I look down, no fucking feet. And then I'm like, what? All right. So I'm like wiping, and then I hear the toilet flush. No, fuck that. I'll wash my hands in the NICU. I'm out. So I start bolting. As I'm going out the door, someone's coming in. I literally go, Shitter's haunted. And as I'm running, this girl was thinking I lost my freaking mind. So now that's like, that became a thing. I literally went back to NICU, and I'm like, there's this happened, and someone was praying. And I'm like explaining this. So this became a thing. Shitter's haunted. And like years later, they were still talking about this shit. Is the shitter
But
haunted?
it's true.
Yes.
They talk about this
The
shit.
fucking shitter is haunted, okay? The shitter's haunted on the first floor of Bay Area. I'm sorry, it is.
So everybody here, Poe, Kathy, you, I have all shared stories, and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier about how you and I are what we call skeptical believers, and then I made some bullshit off comment humor, but I never got to explain. So I will try to do anything I can to disprove whatever we think is a haunting or whatever's haunted, paranormal, whatever. And like Kat and I have gone and we've rented out abandoned hospitals for the night, like from that date back over 100 years, like the crazy ones that have been on TV shows that I'm not going to name because I'm not going to give them the free fucking publicity.
And because they did a shitty job.
They did a really shitty job. But we did a lot of EVP stuff. Like in person, there wasn't a lot that happened that couldn't be written off or at least justified. But the way we do it when we do EVPs is we'll have our own headphones on. We're playing it. And if either one of us hears something, all right, stop, rewind. We rewind it. We play it. We do not tell each other what we hear because that gives you the power of suggestion. If I say, I heard order me a fucking Big Mac, her brain's already going to have that preconceived notion. So you don't hint at all. That way it's not scientific, but at least makes it more scientific. If there's photographs, what can it possibly be before it can be a ghost, a spirit, a demon, an angel,
Yeah.
a Manaloni or whatever the Hawaiian thingies were.
I know that you guys are skeptics.
Good memory.
Yeah.
I know that you guys are skeptics, but I just have to interject here. So the day that Randy died, Randy is our brother, right? The day that he died,
yes,
we were all sitting on the front porch.
The lights?
All of us.
Is this the light story?
Oh, there's all kinds of...
we were all sitting on the front porch. What?
I said, let her tell the story.
Oh, yeah. So we're all sitting on the front porch, and the phone rings, and it's one of our brother's friends calling from Iraq. And all I hear is JD's side of the story, which is JD answers the phone, and he's like, no, this isn't a joke. No, he really died this morning. He passed away. He was struck and killed. And right when he said that, my brother's truck headlights, not JD, but my older brother, his headlight from his pickup truck flicked on. We all saw it. It was my two children sitting next to me, my dad sitting next to me, JD was on to the right of me, Kat was next to him.
Scott was there.
My older brother's best friend. Yeah, Kat was next to JD, and then Scott was standing up right next to and leaning up against the post.
Yeah.
And Scott goes, those were not on because I parked my motorcycle in front of his truck.
It wasn't
so I know that they were not on.
But it's even more weird.
Well, and then
I said,
your dad pulled the
JD,
keys out of the pocket.
Right. I said, Dad,
did you see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But what
So
made it more dissettling besides just the lights turning
Dad,
on
did you?
was
I
the
said,
fact that
did
there
you-
was no bugs. No sound. Nothing. No trees. No
Right.
birds.
Kathy, go ahead.
Yeah. So I looked at Dad, who was sitting next to me. I said, Dad, you have the keys in your pocket. Did you hit something? He goes, no, I don't think so. And he got up and he walked to the truck and he said, the truck doors are locked. And so he lifted the handle and he said, no, they're definitely locked. So he hit the unlock button and the damn light switch had been clicked to the on position. He had to click it over 2 spots to turn it into the on position.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, that was like 4 hours after our brother had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So we all looked at each other and we went, holy shit, he's trying to say like, I'm okay, you know?
And then my cell phone kept having all the streaky, weird pictures. I mean, you could write it off on so many things, but just the timing of it made it very eerie. But with the whole lights thing, as I was saying, like there was no birds, there was no wind, there was no crickets, like it was dead silent. Like completely still. And that's what made it more unsettling was just that.
Was just that it was so still
I believe it. I believe it. So, when as you call yourself a skeptic, I believe that there are things that we probably can't explain of people that have passed away, whether it was 4 hours earlier or whether it was 10 years earlier, that actually do try and communicate. I believe that. My grandmother had a circumstance where her son-in-law, my aunt's husband, passed away from cancer probably, 3 months earlier. And my grandmother had borrowed $20 from him at some point. And she swore up and down, she's passed now, but she swore up and down that she was at home by herself one night and the phone rang. And it was her son-in-law asking for that $20 back, and he had been dead 3 months already.
Oh shit!
Did he lose a bet in heaven? Like a bad poker?
With an idea. But that couldn't even be a joke because my grandmother said nobody knew that. Like that was not something that they would have put out in the open.
That's not common knowledge.
And even if they had put that out in the open, that she had borrowed that money from him, who would have called to say, give me the $20 back? There was nobody in the family or outside of the family that would have done that to my grandmother. And then have you ever had a dream? Have you ever had a dream where somebody that's in your life has passed away, but they come into your dream and
all the time.
You know they're dead. You know they're dead. And they communicate with you.
They know they're
dead.
But
there might be other, they know they're dead. And you guys just go about a normal. My grandfather has conversations with me, I swear, probably at least 3 times a year. And there will be other people in my dream, like my mother or somebody, my grandfather will be there. And I'll be talking to him in the dream. And my mother, this is her father, will be freaking out in the dream, going, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're hurting me emotionally," or she's crying. I'm talking to Grandpa here, and she's like, "He's not there," and that's all in my dream. But he's saying she can't see me. It's just it's just weird stuff. It's like, is that between my ears?
No, I get that about the dreams. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My dad came to us our dad came to me in a dream. My mom couldn't find, we had this Christmas angel that went on top of the tree, right? Yeah. And every year it was there, and my dad always put it there. And Mom was crying. She's like, I can't find it. Now, mind you, Dad had been gone, what, JD, about 2 years at this point?
Or 2 Christmases at least, yeah.
Yeah, 2 Christmases. And Mom had just started dating somebody. And I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day, and I had told everybody, I said, Dad says, I had a dream. He came to me last night, and he said, you're not going to find the angel because you have to make new memories. And Mom was like, well, that's preposterous. We're not going to do that. And she went through everything to try and find that darn angel that go on top of the Christmas tree. Never found it, right? So she goes out, and her and Ken buy a new angel, and they put it on the tree, or maybe it was a star. I don't remember.
I think it's a star.
Yeah, it's a star now. Mm-hmm.
But whatever,
regardless, it's irrelevant. She never found it. Well, when I was helping her put everything away and pack everything away, guess what was there? That damn angel was sitting on top of all the lights and everything. How the hell she pulled all the lights out and never saw the angel, I have no idea. But it was there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, Mom, he's trying to tell you it's okay, move on, one of those kind of things. And that's kind of how I took it. And for me, it gave me peace and it gave me kind of some solace, just like seeing the lights turn on with Randy. It gives me peace and solace. Weird things happen my whole life. I mean, my children have had the same imaginary friend, Mouse, over in California. Nick had it, and it freaked me out. He was like 4, and he's like, Mom, Mouse wants me to trade, what did you call it? Dimensions with him. And I was like, the answer is no. But I'll put a place at the
That's
table
a
for
hell
him.
no. Yeah.
Well,
And he was like, okay.
Oh,
And
like
then that was
Deegan.
yeah, that completely reminded me of
Deegan.
our middle son.
Let me tell a story for once.
You,
Damn.
you've been telling all those hospital stories. And all
I
those.
told the hospital story.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Tell that.
I mean, it really is. I mean, our kids, I swear
tell
to
that
you,
after I tell
JD
my
and Kat's
mom's
kids
story.
and my kids, they have these things where
They do.
things just are attracted because Heidi had the same
Yes,
person,
she did.
the
Exact
same mouse.
Yeah, same mouse.
And then she said that she would go and babysit at your house, and you'll have the same damn little friend over at your house.
That cat is paranormal.
You have a huge pussy, Poe.
So
For
I'm
those
gonna-
of you doing the audio version and not the video,
like
he
it?
just held up this gigantic
It's just
kitty
not-
cat.
huge fucking
Furry,
cat.
furry,
9
furry. Yeah.
That's like at
Holy
least
shit.
a 10-pound
So
cat.
I'm gonna let JD talk about our son Deegan and him seeing extra
1
things,
pound.
but
Oh yeah, he saw Randy. Remember that?
yes, but I'm gonna tell my mom's thing real fast. So my mom worked night shift for years, like I did, and she was asleep one day during the day because she worked nights and had a dream. Her mom came to her and said that she had died. I've died. I want you to know I'm happy. I'm okay. I went without pain. And I just want you to know I'm in a better place. I'm going to be waiting for you and your sisters. And I want you to know I'm okay. And my mom's like, but you're not sick. Like you're not dead. You're not sick. This isn't real. She goes, it's real. I love you. I want you to know I'm okay. I want to give you that peace. And I want you to give that peace to your sisters. So my mom woke up and she's like, that is the craziest dream I've ever had. My mom's not even sick. Her sister called her 2 hours later. Her mom had died 4 hours prior. Her mom died while my mom was sleeping.
Ooh.
My mom had a dream that her mother came to her and she's like, there's no way I could have known. She's like, my mom wasn't chronically sick. She wasn't sick. Like, yeah, she had health problems. Every older person has health problems, but I was a baby at the time. She's like, that was the farthest thing from my mind was that my mother was going to just die. My grandmother took a nap on the couch during the day and died in her sleep. And there's
Wow.
no way my mother could have known that. No way.
So we've got a couple nurses here, right? Or a couple nurse, doctor. I'm not
Medical,
totally sure. But,
yes.
Okay, medical. All right. Listen. Okay. So you ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding? You ever seen that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
that's my mother's side of the family. That's the way I grew up when I was a kid, right? So it was pinchy cheeks, and it was, in any case, my great grandmother and her daughter, my great aunt. My great grandmother got older, into her 80s and 90s. She was living with my aunt. She never could stand her son-in-law. Hated him. Couldn't stand him. And said, he will die before I do. And said that for years, off and on, told her daughter, he will die before I do.
Was it like a prophetic tone, or was it like tongue in cheek, like, all right, this motherfucker's gonna die before? Like, was it like?
Well, she would never say it. She would never say it in front of him. She would say, he's going to go before I do. I will be on this earth still when he's gone, because she just didn't like him. Now, these are old school. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Armenians, but it's like Greek, it's just
yeah.
sort of old world culture.
Yeah.
Anyway, they both died, same house, same night. She died 32 minutes after he did. That's no bullshit.
What the
That's no bullshit. It's no bullshit. Yeah, it's in the house. In the house was my aunt, or my great aunt, her husband who had passed away, their daughter who was there with him, and
Holy
her mother,
shit.
my great grandmother, and she died 32 minutes after he did, in the same house at home, not even in the hospital, at home.
Jeez.
That is knuckin' futz.
So, Kathy, thank you for coming on. We're going to let you go because we're going to be calling Mark and get the story of his brother. But thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you. See you, sir. Love you. We'll talk to you later.
Bye. Bye. All right. So before you call Mark, go ahead and tell him about our son, Deegan.
So yeah, our son, our middle son, was born. I was in the oil fields at the time, and I actually couldn't get relieved off of the rig that I was on that was in Louisiana. We were living in South Texas. It was like a 12-hour drive from door to door from where I was working, and I couldn't get relieved in time. And my brother got to make it, and my brother was he was on R&R actually because he did 7 years in Iraq as a contractor.
Yes. And Randy was my friend before I even got with JD, before I even met. He's the one that introduced me to JD, really. Like, we'd met once before, but didn't remember. But him and I were close. So Randy made it to our son's birth. He took me to the hospital to give birth to our middle son.
And literally one day apart changed our son's name, because if he would have been born the day before, his middle name would have been Patrick. And because it would have been St. Patrick's Day.
One day after, it would have been St. Patrick's Day. You said one day before.
Yeah, if he would have been born one day before, it would have been St. Patrick's Day, because St. Patrick's Day is the 17th. Our son was born on the 18th.
No, our son was born on... Okay, yes, you're absolutely right. Yes. Continue. Just fucking tell the story.
Trying to tell the
Make another drink.
That's why this show is great.
Yes. If he was born on St. Patrick's Day, he would have been Deegan Patrick, but he was born the 18th, which made him Deegan Scott,
which was named after my brother's middle name, and plus he got to be there. So I honestly think that it's those everything happens for a reason scenarios. I didn't get off work so that my middle son could have my brother's name, share that name with him. My brother's killed, and he lives on through my son. So
and Randy was there when Deegan was born. You didn't make it until hours after. Randy was one of the first ones to hold Deegan and everything. So it was a big deal.
It was very fortuitous. Yeah. And so when my brother was killed, I think Deegan was maybe 3.
2. He was 2. Because he was
he wasn't quite 3 yet. He was just shy of 3. Yes. Doing the math now.
Yes.
Well, we were, as he grew up within the next year or so, he is learning to talk more. He's starting to conjugate his verbs and use full sentences and things like that. And he keeps talking about Uncle Randy. And we talked about Uncle Randy a lot inside the household. We wanted his memory to be passed on, to cherish, keep him alive in spirit and heart and all that good stuff. But he starts describing
injuries,
the injuries, where the fractures were, where the cuts were.
And look, we had another son who was 5 when Randy passed away. 5 years old when Randy passed away. He didn't even know the injuries that Randy sustained during the accident because we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we didn't let the kids at the funeral, even though I do have to give the funeral people props. They did really good on his makeup. You wouldn't have known
where his injuries were. That's very valid.
But they weren't at the funeral. We didn't discuss a lot of things around the kids at all. And it was just really eerie. And then he would start having conversations with Uncle Randy.
But he would be like, Mom, it's Uncle Randy, blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't remember Uncle Randy. No, he looks like this, but there's something wrong with his neck.
Yeah, he's got a big bump in his neck.
We're like, what? Wow. Like, there's something wrong with this neck. And then they're right here on his, like right here, and was pointing to the clavicle. And he's like, and it's bumped up there too. Well, yeah, he broke his neck and broke his clavicle during the accident. There's no way he could have known that. None. No way. Wow. No freaking way under God's green earth he would have known he broke his neck and fractured his clavicle. No fucking way in hell.
And what's weird though is like all the movies and the stories and the books and the novels, the graphic novels, whatever the case, it's like as soon as a kid gets a certain age, they lose some kind of the sixth sense, as it was called in that movie. But whatever that feeling or that sight or that insight,
they become more closed-minded. Yeah.
It's like, and as he grew, that went away. He didn't have those conversations
He stopped
anymore.
talking to Uncle Randy. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was Uncle Randy moved on or if
he grew out of it. We're not
he
sure
grew
which,
out of it, or if it was just strange coincidence that his imagination gave these stories that just happened to like I honestly can't.
We can't explain it.
But it's just really weird.
Yeah, but there's no way. There's no way.
But we're gonna move on. We're gonna go ahead and
it's like unsolved mysteries.
Right.
Fuck you. I kid you not. I was so worried growing up at like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. I was so worried that somebody was going to break into my window and steal me.
That to this
that
day,
I would actually sleep with I tried to make my feet as flat as I could. And then I put the pillow over my head to make it look like my bed was made and nobody was in there. And obviously, if in hindsight, if I were looking at a kid laying in a bed, I would fucking know they were there.
Yeah.
But me, I was trying to make it look as though nobody was in that bed. So if some boogeyman looked through the window and wanted to kidnap me, they'd see it was an empty room.
So we started dating and we moved in together and stuff. Like we got engaged and moved in together. Then it was, can you sleep on that side of the bed because that's closer to the window?
Yeah,
I can't sleep by windows.
My dream house has no windows in the bedroom.
As shit, it just happened that every place we've lived in, the same side, the right side of the bed, I sleep, and that's always closest to the freaking window.
No, can't do it.
So yeah, because he's still to this day 40-something-year-old man and can't sleep next to a fucking window.
It's funny how shows stay with you. You know, when I was a kid, it was The Wicked Witch of the West and The Wizard of Oz. You know, and but my wife's from England, and she tells me about the Child Snatcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where they would come through and steal kids and try and lure them in with candy and stuff like that. We're still traumatized. We're still traumatized 40 years freaking later, 50 years later. What the hell are they doing to it?
I'm traumatized by spiders. My dad was a paramedic, my mom was a nurse, and they had books, medical books in their closet as I was growing up. And I was looking through and I remember this, I was young, and I mean young, like 4 or 5 years, I don't even know. And I was looking through and I see these pictures of spider bites. And to this day, I am fucking terrified of spiders. They're trying to fucking kill me. So
well, let's give Mark a call real quick. He had some insight on some Hawaii stuff as well, and some interesting stories about his brother as well. So we're gonna go ahead and give Mark a call, and that's Mark with a C for anybody that cares, because Mark with a K can go fuck himself. This is Mark with a C.
How do you spell Mark with the C at the beginning? Kark. Oh, not that kind of.
Hey y'all.
Hey, hello. What's going on, Mark?
What's up, Mark?
Just sitting here enjoying the show, loving it, and kind of sorry y'all called me because it's getting late and I'm trying to go to sleep and finish my drink. But anyway, here we are.
So real quick, just give us a quick rundown of your story, and we'll let you off the air. And we got to start wrapping up soon. Anyways, we both got to get up in the morning. And
absolutely.
I have to finish like 8 or 9 beers.
We lived in Hawaii. My dad was in the Navy. He was stationed Pearl Harbor. And I was 12, my brother was 13, and he went on a hog hunt with a youth group. And they were up in the mountains hunting hog. The kid that was part of the youth group got a hold of a 22 rifle.
Oh, no.
And was playing around with it. And shot him and pierced the top of his upper left chest. And pierced the and I was dead asleep. My sister was asleep.
We're losing you, Mark. I don't
know Mark, we're losing signal.
I don't know if it's my signal or yours, but
what did you miss?
Okay, where did the bullet pierce him, and then thereafter?
Okay, it went through the top of his left lung.
Oh.
And my mom comes running. We were in a two-story base housing. My mom comes running down to my room and grabs me and my sister and says, "We got to go to the hospital right now. Michael's been shot." And she just had a call from, I don't remember who, the hospital or something. But after all this happened and whatnot, she told me that she knew it. She woke up the minute it happened because they placed the time and everything. They were up in the mountains, and it took like an hour and a half to get him off the mountain. They were up there hogging. And they got him to, what's that? Have you been to Hawaii?
Yeah, I was really young though. Diamond Head.
The big pink hospital, military hospital up there. I used to know the name of it, but I'm old and don't remember shit. And we went up there, and we got there just about the time he did. We were in the emergency room. And they lanced it, and the bullet came flying out of it. And I remember hearing, I didn't see it, but I remember hearing one of the nurses scream and run away. And long story short, my brother's fine. He lived,
Was it?
And he died.
Oh.
Huh?
Was it Tripler?
Tripler Army Medical?
Tripler Army Medical?
Yeah. He died of cancer like 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And my mom said her in the dream and consoled her and said, I'm fine. I'm in heaven. Everything's great. But my mom's side of the family has always been very spiritual and religious. And there's things that people on my mom's side of the family that perceive, and just like seeing and saying, ghost family members and dreams and so on and so forth. Especially with my grandma on my mom's side. But anyway, she told me later on, she knew the minute she woke up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's definitely parts of our brain that have powers that I'm sure we will never comprehend. I don't care how much scientific study.
Well, even you,
done.
so JD and I mean, we've been married for a long fucking time. Of course, you're going to have problems. But we got to the point in our marriage that I felt like I was doing everything. He felt like he needed a break because he was in the oil field. So when he was home, he just wanted to rest. I wanted help with the kids because I was working full time and taking care of the kids. Well, one day he wakes up and he's a different person. He wakes up and he's helpful and he's driven and he's like, we're going to budget and we're going to get our credit better and we're going to buy a house, and just all of a sudden just completely different. And I was like, what the fuck happened?
What the hell happened to you, dude?
I'm like, he's budgeting me. And I'm like, you're the fucking spender. Like, wait a minute. What's happening? He goes,
JD.
And he goes, I had a dream that Randy came to me and told me that I was on the wrong path. And that there were things that I needed to do for my family because they were more important than me. And I have to do this. And he's like, no questions asked. It wasn't like hey, maybe you should. No, there was no option. There was no question. It was, Randy told me to do this and I'm going to do this. And then I asked him later, like, dude, what the fuck exactly did he say to you? And he's like, I don't know.
There's been countless occasions of my dad and my brother visiting me in my dreams or dream state or whatever you want to call it with whatever your belief is. And I honestly could not tell you if it's like a psychological thing where my brain is working out the problems that I'm stressing out about.
Yeah.
Or if it's literally the two people that I looked up to the most coming and being like, hey, motherfucker, you're being stupid. Straighten your shit up and get your shit straight.
Jiminy fucking Cricket.
Before I come down there and I put my fucking size 10 in your ass.
Hey, Kat, what comes to my mind, Kat, is Randy gave you an opportunity here. So the next time you want JD to do something that he doesn't like doing, go talk to Randy for a few and see if he can work that out for you.
All right, Poe, you were cool, but you can go fuck yourself now.
I'm like, Randy, me. So there's this running joke where I pray to God, me again. I'll be like, Randy, me again. My sexual appetite is increasing as I get to 40. Can you make JD put out more? Thanks.
That's where my head was. But I don't know you guys well enough. So anyway, yeah, Randy's there for you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Mark, man, I definitely appreciate that story.
Thank you
I
so
want to hear
much.
more about that
Yes,
next time we meet up
definitely.
over some bourbon.
Definitely. Thank you.
I'm gonna go and
No
let you go
problem,
so
dude.
you can start getting your nighttime routine
Get
going. I
your
gotta
ass
get up
to
for work,
sleep.
so
Yeah.
I
we
gotta
definitely
finish my
appreciate.
drink, and I'm gonna finish the show with y'all,
Awesome.
and then I'm gonna go to bed. So
Sounds good.
Well, we definitely appreciate you
Thank
taking
you.
the phone call. Thanks,
Have a
Mark.
good one, man.
thank you.
All right, bye.
Well, Poe,
All right.
we're gonna have to say goodbye to you because we're gonna be closing up shop here.
So, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Poe, thank you for joining us, especially on short notice. It was just
a
really
lot of
cool that
fun.
you just happened to comment on the post about wanting to share your stories. I definitely want to get to know you more, know more about your business.
Absolutely. We're
We're
gonna
not
have to
gonna
have
do
you
that
on
on
the
air.
show
Stay in
again.
touch.
Absolutely.
Thank everybody for tuning in.
I think he's hitting on you.
Oh. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got some really exciting things coming up. We actually just recently partnered with Knucklehead Media, which is doing all sorts of cool stuff. They're going to be doing a lot of post-production, editing, remastering. We're going to be on all the major podcast hosting places soon.
Yes, sir.
If you're binging our stuff after the fact, like 3 weeks from now, but you're listening to it now, but it's 3 weeks from now or whatever.
Hey, and if you're inviting
So
people,
the whole time loop thing.
if you're inviting people, we appreciate it, but tell them to accept the rules. We don't allow them on there. So we have over 960 people pending. So we would have passed that 1,000 a year ago. Well, not even really, but still, like weeks ago, if they'd accept the freaking rules. Accept our rules.
Yeah, accept the
We will
rules.
allow
Join
you to
the
run a club.
Facebook.com/
Join in the shenanigans.
Facebook.com/ Southpaw's Laser. Oh my God, Southpaw's Tales from the Bar Stool. Jesus Christ. Fuck me and fuck everything I'm trying to say, right?
Oh, I'll fuck you.
Obviously, we can't do this without our sponsors. Thank you to Southpaw Laser Concepts, Legion of Loan Officers, and of course, our newest sponsor, OMOG Construction out of Houston, Texas. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week with and the week after with guests Josh Costner and Richard Kaufman. You do not want to miss these guys. Amazing stories of debauchery in their younger years, just like us.
You
So,
gotta hear Nick's voice. It is hot.
silky smooth. But thank everybody for joining. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a great night.
Good night, everybody.